Welcome. Welcome to the Real Men Group podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gray, and as always, I'm so happy to be here. How you healing? Viewers, how are you healing? A lot of people ask me like, yo, how are you able to continue on putting out so much content? Sometimes I don't know how I do it. But when you believe in something and you are on your purpose, the shit don't feel like work anymore. It don't feel like work at all. A wise man told me, he said, you got to find something that you love, that you be willing to do it for free. But then you do it so well, they have no choice but to pay you. So this is something that I love to do. I love speaking to you guys. And thank you for tuning in to the fastest growing podcast on YouTube. I had like 2 hours of sleep, but I need to be here for y'all. I need to be here for the subscribers of the Real Men Group podcast. Stop trying to save everybody. Stop trying to be everyone's knight in shining armor. Sometimes you got to let people drown. Let them drown. Let them tread water. I know it's going to hurt you seeing someone that you care about, that you have feelings for, in some cases that you love, watching them go through whatever the fuck that they're going through. But sometimes you just gotta cut that cord. You gotta let them make their own mistakes so they can learn from their own mistakes and become better people. If you take a newborn baby and you throw him in the pool, what's gonna happen? That baby is gonna swim. That baby is gonna swim as if the baby was swimming for a very long time. So you got to let people fall face flat just for them to learn. If they put the chip in the wrong spot, money in the bad stock, let them live their life. We need to stop worrying about people. If they're not willing to walk through the door, why the fuck we jumping out the window for these people? And it's not just monetary. You know, we always got that person that needs to borrow money. But what about the people that's always calling you and asking you for advice? What about those people? And no matter what the advice that you give them, they turn around and do the complete opposite. They do the complete opposite. I say those who stick their neck out for others, they just tie a noose around their own. So if they can't walk through the door, why are we jumping out the window for these people? There is a scientific term for this, right? There's a scientific, psychological term for this. And it's called the savior complex. Look it up. Savior complex. Another word for it is the messiah complex. It's when a person always have the desire and the need to help people. Always want to help people. But those be the ones that they give so much of them. If they give it to the wrong people, we give them our advice, our heart, our money, and these people are not worthy of it. A taker is always going to take. A giver never receives. He never receives or she never receives. I just chuck it up to like a lot of these fellas have these fuckboy tendencies. And even with women just have these bitchy tendencies with them. So I understand, like in the Bible, I'm going to quote the Bible for a minute. Hebrews 13:16. And do not forget to do good and share with others, for with such sacrifice, God is pleased. I understand that, but it comes a point in your life where enough is enough. We got to stop allowing for people to take advantage of the good, what makes us whole. Because some of these people is just not worthy of it. They are not worthy of it. Did you ever try to help someone and after you was done, you was like, fuck, I should have kept my mouth closed. I should have kept my wallet closed. I should have let them figure it out all on their own. But when you have that savior complex, that messiah complex, you feel the need to give. You would give half of what you have. And in some cases, people would give everything to those who are in need. And this, listen, I'm not taking a shout out to people who have these big hearts. It's okay for you to have a big heart, but you got to keep some for yourself. Because if you give away your entire heart, what is there? What is left for you? Then you start to develop trust issues in people because those who you have helped in the past took advantage of your kindness. This is how good people turn cold. Because you allow for people who's not worthy of your energy, your time, your advice, your money to drain you of everything. So stop trying to help everybody. Did you ever try to help somebody and it's like they don't get it? Or they blame you for their mistakes. They call you, they ask you for advice, you give it. They blame you for the outcome. Let's say that you found out that their spouse was cheating on them, their boyfriend and girlfriend was cheating on them, and you told them. Those be the same ones that turn around and blame you because their relationship went to shit. Stop trying to fucking help everybody. There's a song, don't save her, she don't want to be saved. Don't save him, he don't want to be saved. It's but I understand a lot of us are born empaths where we just able to absorb someone's negative energy and put a smile on their faces. But who's going to put the smile on the empath face? Who's feeling your energy? Who's feeling my energy? Who's going to come save me when I'm drowning? Who's going to throw me a lifesaver? And you got to look at yourself. You got to say, yo, if I was drowning, who's going to come save me? But we want to be the knight in shiny armor for everybody else. We want to live in that term, the savior complex. Viewers, listeners, how are you healing? It's all about healing. And thank you for tuning in to the Real Man Group podcast. So, if someone is standing in front of the store begging for change, and instead of opening the door for you, they ask you if you have any spare change. I always look at it this way. You're not even willing to help yourself. You're not willing to help me. But yet you want to take away from me. I did an episode on energy vultures. There's also vultures that will continue on taking from you, and not be able to pour back into you. And what I hate the most is shit just always backfire. You help somebody buy a house. You give them all the tools. all the connections. And then now they falling behind on their mortgage and they blaming you because you advised them. You taught them how to buy the house. You went out and picked the house out with them. It's your fault. Because everybody is looking for someone to blame. And if you're that person that's always giving and giving and giving and giving, you're going to be that person that they're going to blame everything on. So we have to stop worrying about everybody else. We have to stop trying to save everybody else. Because a lot of these people are just not worthy of you, your time, your money, your energy. Cancel it. Cancel these motherfuckers out. Because if you don't, you're going to be the one holding the bag. You're going to be the one that is sitting there empty and everybody else is full. Have you ever had a friend who was in a completely broken relationship and told them that they need to move on? They need to leave the person that they with? Usher Raymond. But yet they blame you for the demise of the relationship or the fact that they're not happy in the relationship. Did you ever try to help somebody that you love, that you care so much about, and then you just wind up fighting with them? How you don't understand? 1 + 1 = 2, my dude. Or 1 + 1 = 2, my girl. Sometimes, man, you just got to learn just to walk away. Everybody learned how to ride a bike with training wheels on it. Well, most of us. Sometimes you got to just take those training wheels off, man. If you fall, scrape your knees up, scrape your elbows up. That's a part of fucking life. At some point, our parents, they clipped the wings, right? When you moved out on your own, they clipped the wings. They still there to support you. But ultimately, you're going to be the one that's going to be making these decisions. So if you're not paying your light bill, you better get some candles. If you're not able to pay your rent, you better find a place to live. Sometimes the harsh reality of things, the tough love of things, is what makes people strong, is what builds people up. My mother, love her to death. My stepdad, I love him to death. But when I was 16, 17, out there wilding in the streets, not listening, not paying attention, I got hit with the tough love. And it was like, it hurt. It hurt like a motherfucker. But that tough love made me who I am today. And I'm forever grateful. So sometimes we got to give the people that we love that tough love. It's not that we don't love them. It's not that we don't care about them. It's that we just tired of giving and giving and giving and giving. And especially the ones that we give that just still turn around and do the same shit over and over again. Savior complex. I want you guys to learn from this show. I want you guys to take things away from this show. I do this because I believe in it. I do this because there's someone out there right now that is going through these very things, same things. And there's a lot of parents right now that have their children living with them. You know, adults, 20 to 25, and just don't know what to do. A friend of mine, single mother, have these adult kids. And she's stuck between, what do I do with my kids at this point? I love them. I don't want them to fail, but I need to live my life. I need to be able to move on, because after a certain age, man, you got to get out that nest and you got to start to learn shit for yourself. So I know it may be tough for y'all. Even the fathers, single fathers out there, there's a lot of us that feel like we need to be there for our children, maybe because our parents wasn't there for us. But then what do you do when you're trying to live your life, but you still have your children that you got to tend for? Shout out to all the parents out there. Being a parent is probably one of the hardest jobs that you can ever have. And especially when your kids grow up to rebel against you. But what do you do? What do you do when you are faced with these challenges? When you are trying to help people who's not willing to help themselves? You let them drown. It's okay to let them drown. But then once they're able to get their footing, once they're able to get their feet in and get their feet into life, then y'all can sit back and y'all can have a conversation about it. The reason why this shit turned out this way is because you didn't do X, Y, and Z. Lessons, life lessons. You got to be able to give these people, these friends, and these children tough love. Because if they're not able to take the real from you, then they're not ready for the real world. They're not ready for the real world if they can't take advice from the people that they love. Say no. No. Even when you want to do it. Even when you want to give it. No, I don't have it. Because if you always say yes, you're going to always be their crutch. So instead of them working hard to better their situation, they know they can call you and you're going to be like, I got you. Viewers, how you healing? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's going to help this channel grow. And I hope that you guys are able to take things away from these episodes. I don't care if I'm talking to an empty room or a room of 100 people and 100 people is not listening. But there's one person in the back that's listening, that's able to take things away. Then my job is done. My job is done. And hopefully you can take this back and you can learn something from it. Utilize your time so you can become a better version of yourself. Hold on to something. Don't give everybody all of you, because then you're going to be complaining that you have nothing left. So thank you for tuning in to the fastest growing podcast on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. It's going to help the channel grow. I do this because I believe in it. I do this because my heart is telling me to do it. And I hope you learned something. Savior complex. The Messiah complex. I'm Mr. Gray from the Real Man Group, and I'm so happy to be here. To the next one. Peace.